It started with a casual conversation I never thought would go anywhere. One evening, over dinner, my husband, with his usual curiosity and that playful gleam in his eyes, brought up an idea. At first I thought he was joking, after all we often joked around. But there was something different in the way he looked at me that night. His expression was more serious, more genuine. He leaned in, his voice dropping lower, and he said it clearly. I want us to explore something new together, something that could bring us closer in a way we've never imagined. I want you to see me with 2 women. My heart skipped a beat. I was completely caught off guard. It wasn't something I had ever considered in our marriage, and I wasn't sure how to react. But the way he said it, so soft, so full of desire, made me hesitate. The words hung in the air between us, a mixture of excitement and uncertainty swirling in my mind. Despite my initial shock, I could feel curiosity beginning to stir within me. Days passed, and the thought didn't fade. In fact, it began to settle in my mind, transforming from a mere passing idea to something much more intriguing. My husband was patient, never pushing, always letting me process the idea at my own pace. But each time we talked about it, I noticed the spark in his eyes grow brighter, more intense. Eventually, I found myself thinking about it more seriously. What would it be like? Could it really happen? And more importantly, could I allow myself to experience something so new, so out of the ordinary? My mind wandered, imagining different scenarios, each more vivid than the last. I could feel my heart racing with anticipation. Though I never said it out loud, I realized I was curious. There was a part of me that wondered what it would be like to see my husband with someone else. The thought stirred something inside me, a longing I hadn't even realized was there. And so, one evening as we lay in bed together, I turned to him, my heart pounding. I gave him a soft smile and said, "Okay." His eyes widened, and for a moment, I saw disbelief flash across his face before it melted into pure excitement. We spent the next few nights discussing it, setting boundaries, and making sure we were both comfortable. He told me about 2 women he had met, both of whom were open to the idea and willing to join us. I could hear the excitement in his voice, and oddly enough, it only made me feel more confident in my decision. When the night finally came, I was nervous, of course. My heart raced as I prepared, each touch of my skin feeling more sensitive than usual. The anticipation built, but there was also a sense of calm. I trusted him, and I knew this was something we were both stepping into together. When the 2 women arrived, they were confident, beautiful, and gracious. They greeted me warmly, their eyes kind but full of understanding about what was to come. My husband stood beside me, his hand gently resting on my lower back, offering silent reassurance that we were in this together. I could feel his excitement radiating, and I knew this was something he had long dreamed of. We spent some time talking, easing into the evening. The tension built slowly, but there was no rush, no pressure. We all moved at our own pace, sharing stories and laughter over glasses of wine. It was a relaxed atmosphere, one where everyone was on the same page, and we were all simply taking it one step at a time. I found myself relaxing in their presence, the initial nervousness slipping away, replaced by a quiet excitement that hummed just beneath the surface. Eventually, the conversation shifted, the atmosphere changing subtly as the playful flirting began. My husband was at the center of it all, his charm working its magic as the 2 women leaned closer, their eyes locked on him. I watched them, feeling a strange mixture of emotions, excitement, curiosity, and something else I couldn't quite place. But it wasn't jealousy, it was something deeper, a sense of liberation, of giving him the freedom to explore this part of himself, and in turn, discovering something new about myself. When the evening began, we found ourselves connecting through shared laughter and meaningful conversations. The energy in the room shifted naturally, bringing a sense of closeness and mutual understanding. But I didn't look away. Couldn't. There was something mesmerizing about the scene unfolding before me, something that pulled me in deeper and deeper. The evening flowed naturally, with laughter and quiet moments of connection. The 3 of them shared a warmth that felt genuine, creating an atmosphere of trust and openness. I watched them, feeling my own body respond, the heat rising in my chest, spreading lower with each passing second. My husband glanced at me, and in his eyes, I saw a quiet reassurance, a reminder that we were in this together, navigating uncharted territory as partners. I moved closer, sitting on the edge of the bed, my heart pounding in my chest as I watched them. My husband engaged with kindness and respect, ensuring that everyone felt comfortable and valued as we navigated this new experience. I could feel the atmosphere shift into something meaningful and profound, a shared understanding settling between us. Their interactions reflected mutual trust and curiosity, each step taken thoughtfully, ensuring that everyone felt included and respected. Without thinking, I took it, letting her guide me closer until I was right there with them, part of the moment. Her gesture reflected kindness and openness, reinforcing the trust we had built throughout the evening. The others joined in the conversation with warmth and curiosity, their presence adding to the feeling of shared trust and comfort. My husband watched us, his eyes dark with desire, as the three of us moved together, our lips, our hands exploring each other's bodies. I could feel his gaze on me, and it only heightened the intensity of the moment, knowing that this was what he had wanted, what we had both agreed to share. The night became a celebration of connection, where every moment felt like a step toward deeper understanding and shared intimacy without the need for words. The evening unfolded with a shared sense of discovery, every moment deepening the bond between us. It was less about the specifics and more about the shared journey, the trust, and the understanding that brought us closer. The intensity grew, the passion building to a point where it felt like time had stopped, like nothing else existed outside that room. My husband was the center of it all, his hands, his lips, his body moving between us, bringing us all together in a shared experience that felt both intimate and liberating. And then, as the night reached its peak, the tension finally broke. I gasped, my body trembling with release as I watched my husband with the two women, their bodies entwined, their soft moans filling the room. It was beautiful, sensual, and for a moment I felt completely weightless, lost in the pleasure of the moment. Afterwards, we rested quietly, reflecting on the emotions and shared experience that had brought us all closer. My husband held me close, his embrace reassuring and warm. We rested quietly, reflecting on the experience that had brought us all closer. The atmosphere was calm and filled with a sense of mutual appreciation. I smiled, feeling a deep sense of contentment wash over me. This was something I never thought I would experience, something I never thought I would be able to do. But now, lying here in the afterglow, I realized that I had discovered something new about myself, about my husband, about our marriage. The night had been more than just an act of passion. It had been a journey, a shared experience that had brought us closer, that had deepened the connection we already had. I felt alive in a way I hadn't in years, and I knew that this was just the beginning of something new, something beautiful, something we could both explore together. As I drifted off to sleep, my husband's arm still wrapped around me, I felt a deep sense of peace, knowing that we had opened a new chapter in our lives, one filled with possibility, with adventure, and most of all with love. The two women who had been so integral to our experience remained close, their presence a gentle reminder of the incredible intimacy we had shared. My husband's arms were still wrapped around me, his touch warm and reassuring. I could feel his heartbeat against my back, steady and comforting. I reached out, my fingers brushing against the arm of one of the women. She turned to me, her eyes soft and filled with a quiet affection that mirrored my own feelings. I leaned in, pressing a tender kiss to her lips, feeling the warmth of her response. She smiled, her fingers trailing lightly down my arm, a silent acknowledgement of the shared intimacy we had experienced. The other woman, equally graceful and gentle, moved closer as well. Her lips found mine in a kiss that was both tender and exploratory, a reflection of the connection we had built. My husband's hands rested on both of us, guiding us with a loving touch that spoke of his deep care and desire. As we kissed, the room seemed to grow warmer, the air filled with a palpable sense of affection and desire. We shared moments of connection that felt natural and liberating, deepening our bond in unexpected ways. There was no rush, no sense of urgency, just a slow, deliberate unfolding of desire and connection. My husband's presence was steady and reassuring, his gestures reflecting the care and trust that had guided us through the evening. He leaned in to kiss me, his lips lingering on mine, his breath warm and sweet. The women's hands roamed over my skin, their touches both gentle and confident, their kisses trailing along my neck and shoulders, sending shivers down my spine. We moved together, our bodies pressed close, exploring every inch of each other with a shared sense of wonder. The kisses grew deeper, more intense, as we let ourselves be fully immersed in the moment. My husband's hands guided us all, his touch both tender and commanding, his kisses igniting a fire within me that burned brighter with every passing second. The passion between us was electric, the intimacy profound. Each moment was a reminder of the love and trust that had been the foundation of our relationship. The room was filled with shared smiles and soft laughter, a quiet acknowledgement of the meaningful connection we had experienced together. By the end of the evening, we had grown closer, discovering new dimensions of our relationship. The intensity of the moment built to a crescendo, and we shared an experience that was both deeply personal and profoundly shared. My husband's gaze never left me, his eyes filled with a mixture of love and desire, as he continued to guide us all through this intimate journey. Finally, as the night reached its peak, we found a moment of perfect unity, our bodies and hearts coming together in a shared release that left us all breathless. We held each other close, our breaths mingled, our bodies tangled in a loving embrace. The room was filled with a sense of peace and satisfaction, a quiet acknowledgement of the deep connection we had all experienced. In the soft glow of the early morning light, we lay together, our bodies still pressed close, our hearts full of the love and intimacy we had shared. My husband's arms were around me, his touch gentle and comforting, while the two women rested beside us, their presence a reminder of the beautiful adventure we had embarked upon. I closed my eyes, feeling a deep sense of contentment and fulfillment. The night had been more than just a physical experience. It had been a journey of discovery, of connection, and of love. And as we lay there together, I knew that this was a new beginning for us all. A new chapter in our lives filled with possibility, with adventure, and most of all with love. As the night continued, the connection between us deepened, and an unspoken understanding guided our actions. We were lost in the beauty of the moment, each touch, each kiss drawing us closer together. My husband's presence remained steady and reassuring, his actions reflecting a profound care for everyone involved. His kisses were a blend of passion and tenderness, each one lingering longer, each touch igniting a warmth that spread through me. The two women, equally immersed in the experience, mirrored the intensity of our shared connection. They moved with a graceful confidence, their hands and lips exploring with a mutual sense of desire. The kisses exchanged between us were slow and sensual, building a rhythm that matched the steady heartbeat of the night. We explored each other's bodies with a newfound freedom, the boundaries we once knew dissolving into a shared intimacy. The room was filled with warmth, a reflection of the trust and understanding that had grown between us. Every touch, every kiss became a celebration of our deepening connection, a testament to the trust and love we had nurtured over the years. My husband's gaze met mine often, filled with a profound sense of satisfaction and love. His touches were tender, yet filled with an undeniable passion, each movement a reflection of his desire to make this experience memorable for all of us. His hands roamed over my skin, his kisses moving from my lips to my neck, tracing a path of affection that left me breathless. The two women, their presence a harmonious addition to our evening, responded with equal tenderness. Their touches were soft, their kisses warm, creating a dynamic of intimacy that was both exhilarating and comforting. Each of us contributed to a shared experience that was both unique and deeply fulfilling. We continued to explore our bodies, moving together in a dance of affection and desire. The kisses grew more intense, the touches more exploratory, as we embraced the freedom of the moment. There was no rush, no sense of urgency, just a slow, deliberate exploration of each other's desires and needs. As the night progressed, the energy in the room shifted, the passion building to a crescendo. We were all fully immersed in the experience, our connections deepening with every touch. The physical intimacy we shared was accompanied by an emotional closeness that made the moment even more profound. As the evening drew to a close, a deep sense of unity and fulfillment filled the room. We sat together, holding on to the warmth of the connection we had shared, grateful for the openness and trust that had brought us to this moment. The room was quiet, the air filled with a shared sense of gratitude and respect for the experience we had embraced together. In the quiet that followed, we continued to hold each other, our breaths slowly returning to normal. The softness of the sheets and the warmth of our bodies created a cocoon of intimacy that was both comforting and serene. My husband's arms were around me, his touch gentle and reassuring, while the two women rested beside us, their presence a comforting reminder of the beautiful journey we had shared. As the night gave way to the early morning light, we lay together, our hearts full of the love and connection we had experienced. The sense of adventure and exploration had brought us closer, deepening our bond in ways we had never imagined. I felt a profound sense of peace and satisfaction, knowing that this experience had been a new chapter in our lives, filled with love, trust, and mutual respect. We had shared an experience that deepened our understanding of one another, creating a cherished memory built on trust and openness. And as we drifted off to sleep, wrapped in each other's embrace, I knew that the love we had shared would continue to grow, nurturing our connection and guiding us through the adventures that lay ahead.